In this tutorial, we will talk about Matlab built-in functions. And we will start by talking about the script that we created in the last lab, where we calculated weight from the mass. And if you noticed, every time I had to calculate the weight for a different mass, I had to manually change the value here and then rerun the script using run, and that's how it calculated this. Now I can convert this into a function so that I don't have to manually go change here and then click run, but I can just do everything from command line. And to do that, we will start a new file. Basically, we will just copy some of the code from this file into that new file, but that new file will be a function instead of a script. So in the new list of options, the second option is called function. So let's create a new function, and notice how it automatically puts some of the text for you in the file. It's untitled 3, and let's save this as weight 1. So this is our next version of the code. And now go back to, from weight 1, go to weight 0 and copy paste all of this code using Control C, and then go to weight 1 and right here put type Control V. So all of that code is copied here. Now let's give it a name. We know we want to call it weight 1, so this untitled 3 should be converted to weight 1. So this is the name of the function, and then here is a list of inputs that we can give to the function, and here is a list of outputs that the function will give us back. So what we want to do in this case is we want to give mass to this function, and we want this function to give us the weight back to us. So some of the things that you may want to do before you proceed: weight, and then a short description of your function could be function to convert mass to weight. Okay. It's always a good idea to have some comments available within the function or within your code so you can later on read them. Now of course we already have a line here, but this is not what we want to use. We want to tell it what the mass is, so you can delete this line. Instead of that, place the word mass as an input and remove this line out. So as you can see, there is no mass, but the mass will be provided by us when we call weight 1 function. Now we want the weight to go out of this, and so right here in the output arguments we can say that once you have calculated the value of weight, give it back to me. Okay. And that in this case it is displaying as well, so we're going to remove this part. So this is a very simple function that will calculate the mass and give you back the weight, and no printing will be done by this function. So go ahead and save this function, and if you try to run it with this icon now, it will complain. The complaint will be because you're trying to run it without as a script, whereas it needs a value of a mass. And actually I will show you, if I try to run it, it's a not enough input arguments, which means I did not give it the value of mass to proceed. Instead of that, what we can do, we can say weight 1, and then in parentheses, just like we ran the sine or sine d built-in function, now this is our function, and it actually tells me right there that I need to provide mass for it to calculate, and I type in 5 and close the parentheses and press enter, and it will tell me that the answer is 49, which is the value returned by this function after these calculations. So this is a very simple function, but it has the power of reusability. I can use it again and again and provide different values of the input to get an answer to my question. Now, if accidentally you forgot to put 1 or you put 2, what do you expect to happen? Let's see. It will say undefined function or variable, which means it couldn't find it on this side in the workspace, or it couldn't find it here, or it couldn't find it in the built-in functions of Matlab. But it also gives you a suggestion. It says, did you mean by this, by that, did you mean this? Because it does have something closest to this, which is the weight variable in the workspace. So this concludes the tutorial, and again, to sum up, the purpose is to teach that MATLAB provides built-in functions and ability for you to create your own functions that will do a certain task, where the function takes some input arguments from you, from the user, and processes them and gives an output arguments, or one argument or multiple arguments that are the outcome of that processing. And there's a very powerful entity in MATLAB that can be used and convert your program into what we call modular programs, which means the program is divided into small pieces that can be used in different ways.